Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Chris is in Spokane. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. It is a privilege.
Honor to speak to you, sir. How can we help?
Well, first, I've learned a lot from you in the last couple of years, more than I ever learned in a college degree, so thank you. But my dilemma right now is with my work and obtaining a backup vehicle. I am an independent contractor, drives a lot of miles, so repairs are part of the deal. And my original means was taken away from me a few months ago. And so now I'm looking for a way to get a backup vehicle, a way to finance the repairs. And it's been wishy-washy. I used to be able to take it to the dealership. They had a third-party contractor where I could work on financing, give me a loaner. That's all gone now, so I'm back to square one. If I go hit my car breaks down, how do I get another vehicle? Save it up for it's difficult. I took out a couple credit cards, and they're under control, but I still need that resource back, so I don't know how to do that.
What kind of delivery driving are you doing? Can I have some clarity on that?
Yeah, I've done the Uber, Lyft, DoorDash.
Okay.
I've got thousands of deliveries done under it.
So is there anything wrong with your current vehicle, or you just want this just in case?
Just in case.
I mean,
So how much do you make?
About $5,000 a month.
Okay. Well, in business, if you were running a business, which you are, you're an independent subcontractor, right? Or an independent contractor. So if let's say you had a heating and air company and you had 10 trucks that were fixing people's heating and air. Right. One of the things we would teach you in business is to set aside a percentage of your profits for truck replacement. And then and eventually you'd have enough to buy a truck, and then you'd start the process again. And so every so many years you would roll a truck off of your fleet and roll a new one on, but you've been systematically saving a percentage of your profits. If you save 10% of your $5,000 as an example, that'd be $500, that'd be $6,000 a year. I mean, you could buy another $6,000 car once a year. And that's all you'd need for a backup car.
Yeah, I don't think, Chris, that you need two vehicles at one time. I think this is more about, I'm saving up, I've got this money here to replace the vehicle you've got, or upgrade when the time comes, or fix the repairs as needed. Yeah. But at making $5,000 a month, I don't see why you need two vehicles, one sitting in the driveway and the other one that you're driving.
If you did, it's super inexpensive one. I mean, it's just above hoopty level, because you definitely don't need two $15,000 vehicles to drive Uber. That'd be dumb. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Even if they're all paid for, and with the income you're producing, it doesn't justify that. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I would. It's okay to put a semi hoopty in the yard if you want, or the driveway if you want to have as your backup. And then you've got to have repairs in your line items, because basically you are running the wheels off a car, and so you're going to have increased repairs because of the miles you're putting on it, and you got increased fuel cost, and you've got to run all of that in your basically the profit and loss statement of your business, which is the revenue that comes in minus fuel, minus repairs, minus vehicle replacement, and those are the line items in your business's budget, and then the net of that is taxable, and the net of that is what you really are taking home. You can't take 100% of it home, because you'll constantly be in a lurch on repairs. Mm-hmm. You'll constantly be in a lurch on vehicle replacement. So you've got to systematize this and just build you a process. And I don't care what it is. If the $500 I mentioned is enough, then that's fine. And you say, okay, we're going to set. You also need to be setting your tax money aside every month.
That's a fact.
So your quarterly estimates on taxes, which is about 25% of your profits. Mm-hmm. And so you need to set that aside, set aside vehicle replacement, and set aside car repairs. And so you've got these little miniature savings accounts for replacement and for repairs, and then you can run the thing efficiently. That's how you handle the cash flow aspect of this. And then the other thing you need to ask yourself is what Jade's saying is, how much do we really need to invest in this?
Well, and that's what I said. If he's really focused on the Uber side of things or the Lyft side of things, it might be more profitable for him to increase the value of the car that he's driving, because you can earn more based on the type of vehicle that you have. So I don't know. I mean, it may be worth him running those numbers out, but maybe you drive the hoopty for like Instacart type stuff, but you're saving up to buy, a certain level of vehicle so that you can make more on your Uber and Lyft stuff. Yeah. He's got to price that stuff out and see where the true money lies.
The black SUV level.
Yeah, well, that's going to take him a minute at $5,000 a month, but
$500 a month. Yeah, either way, either however you did it, exactly. Tammy's with us. Tammy's in Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Tammy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Awesome. Well, I'm searching for some godly financial wisdom. We are in a situation where we've lived debt free. We took Financial Peace University many years ago and really put it to work. We live in a small rural community, and our pastors, so we have done the best we can with what we got. Well, our insurance company has canceled us because they're requiring us to get a new roof, because our roof is about 23 years old. It's actually still in good condition. We could replace the roof ourselves. But the second insurance company just canceled us again, and we only owe about $42,000 on our mortgage. We are trying to figure out, do we try somehow to pay off the mortgage, whether it be through a personal loan or the minimum, like we could drain our savings and pay off that with a little bit of a personal loan and not have to worry about a roof, or go into debt to get the roof.
How much do you have in savings?
We have about $23,000 in savings, and we have
so you have the money to fix. You have the money to put a roof on the house.
We do.
Do it.
But the other dilemma
your house needs a roof.
Right. But we're being told by our broker that even with a new roof, they won't be able to find anybody to insure us.
Why?
Because
I'd get a new broker.
Because we don't have a fire department near us.
You had insurance before, and there was no fire department near you.
No, there was.
They closed?
They just closed down. Yes, they just closed down. Like I said, we're in a very rural community, and so we're very confused with what everybody's telling us.
Yeah, I'm going to work this problem, and I think you need to put a roof on your house and get insurance, and then work to get your house paid off. I'm with you on getting it paid off, but you're not really. You're just moving the loan to a personal loan. If you did that, it's not the end of the world. So if you throw 20 at it and you go take a $20,000 personal loan, now you're free. But you still need a roof, and you still need insurance. After the smoke clears on that, no pun intended. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 40% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Our question of the day is sponsored by Neighborly, your hub for home services. If you're moving, you have a long list of to-dos, but Neighborly has local pros like Housemaster, The Grounds Guys, 5-Star Painting, and Junk King. To check items off that list, visit neighborly.com today to schedule home service experts near you.
All right, today's question comes from Jesse in the Baby Steps Millionaire Group. He says, I'm 61 years old. I'm hoping to retire soon, but watching my retirement savings go down day after day after day. The only part not going down is $180,000 sitting in the bank, earning almost zero interest, but not completely eroding away with the stock market. What should I do? I like this question for many reasons. Number one, Jesse, you're forgetting that the money that's just sitting in the bank, it's not earning interest like it would in the stock market, but there is a little thing called inflation, and that is affecting your savings that's just sitting there. So I'm just putting that out there. But let's talk about this retirement savings, because you're telling me that it's, quote, completely eroding away. And that's just not true.
Yeah.
That's just not true. The stock market is down, but it's not completely eroding away, and it will come back up. We know that. You can look at the track record and know that this is temporary. The stock market is cyclical. It goes down and it goes up.
So, Jesse, one of the things you have to understand, and it helped me because I actually got into the research about 30 years ago on this, is that we all, especially when it comes to investing, but a lot of other things too, we all have a drama queen that lives in our brain that exaggerates everything and oh God, thing. Okay. And that the studies have told us now that it takes $3 of gain in an investment to emotionally offset $1 of loss. Our brain records negative things at a much greater rate, and it takes a while. It takes a lot of emotion to recover from that. And so what I'm saying is that Jade is exactly right. Your drama queen wrote this email. Okay? Completely eroding away.
Yeah.
Oh, bull.
Look.
Okay, it's down maybe 10%, but I mean, so if you got $1 million now, it's worth $900,000, and next year it'll be worth $1.3 million. I mean, $1.1 million. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, so it's not completely eroding away. So, because Jesse, here's another way of knowing that. Have you ever heard people say this? I lost all my money in the stock market. Mathematically impossible. It just didn't happen. You didn't lose all your money in the stock market. Unless you put it all in one company and that company completely closed.
Yeah.
And was worth zero. If you put all your money in Enron, you lost all your money in the stock market.
Certain cryptocurrencies.
Yeah. Well, that's not even the stock market.
Right.
But,
that's true.
But it would have, but what people really mean is I lost a bunch of money. I freaked out. I went into hyper drama mode. I pulled my money out at exactly the wrong time while it was down, and then bitched about it for the next decade. That's what we really mean when you say I lost all my money in the stock. You didn't lose all your money in the stock market. So in 2008, the market went from $13,000 down to $6,500 down. It went in half. And the number of people that will tell you they lost everything in the stock market in 2008 is amazing, because and they're all wrong. You just didn't. If you put it in at 13 and it was 6,500, you have the world's worst possible timing. You pulled it out at the bottom. And if you did that, you lost the most you could have possibly lost in recent memory.
Right.
In 100 years, almost. Not 100, but 80. 80 years.
Pretty
okay.
Close.
And even in that event, you only lost half your money.
That's right.
You put 100,000 in and went to 6,500 is worth 50 grand. And by the way, I put money in at 13. I didn't take it out at all. And guess what the 6,500 is worth now? It's a 38,000 down, right?
Hey.
And so, if you had $1 million at the bottom, you got $5 or $6 million now.
Wow. you got to look in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. I got to tell this story. My son, this is exactly what this reminds me of. My son is 5 and I do his hair for him every morning because he's got curly hair, and I have to spray it down with water and he hates that. And today,
I have to do that too.
do you, to just keep the shine going? Dave, a little drip of water drips from his hair like onto his shirt and he's like, look at me, I've got water all over me.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm like, you have one drip of water on your shirt. And I made him look, I said, look in the mirror and say, there's not water all over me. There's a drip of water on my shirt. Yeah. And he said it in the mirror. And then I said, and now say, spraying water on my hair is part of the process, and sometimes water gets on my shirt. And he said it. And I think that's what this is. You got to know, when you invest in the stock market, part of the process is it goes up and it goes down, and you're not completely eroding and I'm completely drenched. You got to, it's drips. All right. Like, you got to look, sometimes you just got to tell yourself the truth.
That's exactly right.
And just accept it for what it is.
Facts and mathematics are your friends to tell your drama queen, and all of us have one. And so we have to do the facts to tell our drama queen to shut up.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to invest. And no, I'm not got $180,000 sitting in the bank wondering why it's not going up, because I know it's not going up.
That ain't doing.
It's not doing squat.
He's tripping. He thinks that money's doing well. That's losing value too right now. Let's just be honest.
Every single down year in the stock market's history but one is followed by a record 2-year rise.
Wow.
So if you're out right now, historically, you're stupid. That's what history.
That's
not
so good.
Historically. There's a difference, right?
There.
You need to use history, not hysteria. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, because Jesse, all of us do this. The other one that goes with Jesse's thing here that I run into, and I run into this sometimes when we're doing a media appearance too, is what are retired people going to do? The stock market is down. How are they going to live? Well, they weren't going to cash all their money out this year anyway.
Right.
If you've got $500,000 in your 401k, you're not going to run over and cash it out this year unless you panic. And you probably weren't planning to cash it out. You're probably just going to live off of the income that it creates and even touch the principal.
Well, that's the plan.
So let the principal ride the roller coaster and just let your income, a reasonable income, come off of it. And retired people are just fine that way. But broke people, when they retire, they don't have fun even in up markets.
That's true. That's true, because you never had it to begin with. Now, Jesse, you said that you're still working. You haven't retired yet, so keep investing. Yeah, now's a great time to buy.
Get the $180,000 invested right now, dude. I don't time the market, but I'm telling you, every down market, bear market that it holds out as long as this one has held out is followed by a 2-year upturn.
That's good to know.
Except one. Every single one of them.
What was the exception? Do you know?
No, not off the top of my head. I was looking at the charts the other day. Mm-hmm. It might have been 2008.
Well,
it might have taken it more than 2 years to recover. It might have been, I think there were 2 down years in a row there, and that's what throws that number off, if I remember right. But, I mean, you go back and look where we've had, because usually what happens, too, around this is election cycle.
That's a very good point.
So think about what the election cycle is. By this time next year, we are sick of presidential
I know that's
running
right.
people. By this time next year, you're going to be so sick of politics because you're going to be right square in the middle of a booming presidential election. Mm-hmm. And guess what that does to the stock market? Hello. It gives it hope.
That's true.
And hope is all the stock market needs to go up.
That
and
is
so
true.
Just hang on. When the leaves get green next spring, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, America. You're going to be okay. All these companies out there are not losing money. They're all making money. Guess where stock price comes from? Profit and potential profit and projected and forecasted profit. And that's all still there. This is The Ramsey Show. We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Hey, let's do a little mental exercise. Look out 90 days from right now. It's July. You got $1,000 sitting in the bank. 2 of your credit card payments are gone. And you check out at the grocery store without having a panic attack. You know how that would feel? Like financial peace. Some of you have never had that in your entire life, but today's the day you can get control of your money. Starts with a thing called Financial Peace University. It's our 9-week course that's helped millions of people beat debt, build wealth, and become outrageously generous. And we're going to teach you everything about how to handle money, step by step. And here's how fast things can change. The average Financial Peace University graduate has an $8,000 turnaround between savings and debt reduction in just 90 days. That means before summer break is over, you're going to feel completely different about your money, because you'll be completely different. Financial Peace University. Start it right now at RamseySolutions.com/FPU, RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Caleb's in Austin, Texas. Hey, Caleb, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
I was calling because I'm getting ready to get married, and I have myself and my fiance, we have about $200,000 in debt or close to it. That we are trying to figure out what's the best avenue for us to kind of take that on.
Good Lord, who's the doctor or lawyer?
Neither of us, actually. I went to a private school to get my bachelor's degree.
In what?
And in business administration.
Okay. And
so
she got a degree in what?
Communications.
And the two of this is all student loan debt or what?
It's not all student loan debt. About, I want to say, probably about 80 of it is student loan.
What's the rest?
The rest is a car loan that I have.
How much is that?
And it's I think I was still 47 on it.
Whew.
And you just graduated from college?
In 2020, yes.
Okay. So what is your income?
My income this last year, I grossed 117.
Okay. What about her?
42 after taxes, I believe.
Do you see where the problem is, Caleb?
I think so. But that's why I was calling.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to give you a hint. Since you're still thinking, it's the cars. These cars are so expensive. Yes, you've got $80,000 in student loans, but the cars, you could really set yourselves free if you made some decisions with these cars.
Wait a minute, you have one that's 47. What's the other one?
The other one is
Her car.
30.
No.
30.
Okay, you're right then. Jade, you're right. It's both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
give yourself a wedding present and sell both these pieces of crap that are trying to drive you into the bottom of the ocean, man. Good Lord.
when are you supposed to get married?
November of 2024.
Yeah. You're going to drive away from the church in a hoopty, my man, if you're smart.
Is anybody paying for this? Like, is your family contributing to this wedding, or are you guys paying for it in cash? What's the plan?
We are paying for it in cash.
Okay.
And I've been saving for that right now.
I'm still missing $50,000. What's the other $50,000?
I'm not sure. It's more like 180 between us.
Okay.
I believe like what? Yeah. So it's like 180. I think
I got 150. I got 150 though.
Is it from
I
her
think the
side?
rest are
I'm sorry?
Yeah, the rest are in credit cards from her side, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So here's the thing, and I think that you know this, but in case you don't, I want to make it clear. Until you get married, you guys are working on this separately. So it's good that you've talked about it. It's good that you both know what's going on.
And both of you looking over each other's plan, because it's getting ready to be our plan come November. But yeah, so here's what we're going to do. I want you two to go through Financial Peace University as our wedding gift to you, and we're going to pay for it, okay? If I give it to you, will you use it as part of your pre-marriage counseling?
I don't see any reason why not. Absolutely.
Okay. This is a 9-week class, 9-lesson class. You get in a small group that's going to guide you step by step by step on how to go from where you are now, which is a hot mess, okay, into really taking this actually a good income. You got $150,000-$160,000 household income once you're married. You should be millionaires within just about 7 or 8 years if you'll follow what we're going to teach you. But if you go do your stupid butt stuff that your friends are all doing, you're going to keep these cars because you're afraid of what somebody thinks, or because you like the car, and you like the car more than being wealthy someday. That's the trade you're making. So both of these cars are insanity. They were insanity when you bought them, and you need to get rid of them and get cheap, inexpensive cars, and then lay into this student loan debt. And if you do that, you guys could clear this 18 months after marriage. You could be debt-free. And if you're debt-free, if you don't have a payment in the world, and you're in your 20s making 160,
Ooh, life is
you
good.
can become millionaires then. Okay, you really can. And you can drive whatever you want later. But you went and bought a bunch of crap you couldn't afford, an expensive education that you overpaid for, and cars that you couldn't afford. And so you've been just buying anything you wanted because some idiot would loan you the money. And it got you into a mess. And so if I were you guys, if you were I'm old, you're younger than my kids. So, but if you were my kids, I would sit down and I would love you so much that I would be very clear with you like I am right now, because we love you and we want you to win. And
And be smart about that wedding.
Yeah.
Don't let that.
Keep the wedding down. It's there's no correlation between the expense of the wedding and the success of the marriage. No piece of research between that.
Yeah.
No piece of research between the size of the ring and the lasting of the marriage, except possibly an inverse relationship. But the oh my gosh. So yeah, you guys have got some real serious changes in the way you view the world in order to A, clean up this hot mess, and B, become wealthy. But we can show you how to do it. And we'll do that as our gift to you because we care about you and we want you to win. But, dude, you got to change some stuff. This is not going to – if you just sit and keep doing what you're doing –
It's going to get bad.
you're going to have a really tough young marriage. It's going to be very harsh.
I hope she's on board for this.
Well, he called the crazy people on the radio. He asked
did.
for it. So
He did.
there you go, man.
That's good.
Hey, hang on. Austin will pick up and we'll get you guys signed up. So, Jade, I was on Neil Cavuto on Fox yesterday. Neil and I have been friends for 25 years or so. And, of course, he always pokes at me, makes fun of me. I make fun of him. He's cheap. And he's not here to defend himself, but he is cheap. And but he was like playing this clip that went viral. We had like 37 million impressions of this clip. And it was me doing what we just did just now.
Yes.
And he's like, "You're so tough." And I'm like, dude, that is not tough. I didn't raise my voice. I wasn't yelling at anybody. Nobody got cussed at. I mean, how is that tough? Where did you come from that's tough? I said, Neil, you're pretty easily triggered. What are you, a snowflake? But I mean, really, that's not tough. That's me telling you the truth because I love you.
Yeah, but Dave, people think that's tough because people think that they should be able to.
Well, everybody just goes along with people's stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And if you love somebody and you go along with their stupid stuff, that's not an act of love.
No.
That's an act of cowardice.
Enabling.
Yeah, it's enabling. And so if you want to be enabled, guys, don't call this show because we're not going to enable you. We love you. We're going to tell you like it is. We're going to listen. We've all done stupid stuff. She had $500,000 in debt. I went bankrupt in my 20s. I mean, we've all done stupid stuff here. Nobody's exempt from it, but we're not going to stay in it.
No.
That's the thing. And we're going to move in a direction that's positive for you. We want you to win.
But they do need to go watch that clip, though, if they haven't seen it.
It's not that
Come on,
unique.
Dave.
It's not that. It's what we do every day here on the show. I don't understand why it went viral.
It's a great clip. Go watch it.
This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you are new to the show, and based on our rankings and ratings, we know that there are several million of you that are new to the show. You can learn some of the lingo and figure out where you are and what we're talking about by clicking on the Get Started button at RamseySolutions.com. It's completely free. We'll work you in, figure out where you are, show you are here, and show you what the next steps are and why and how we're teaching this. And you'll learn stuff like baby steps and debt snowballs and that whole process. So, hey, thanks for being out there. We appreciate you. 888-825-5225. Emily is in Athens. Hey, Emily, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you. I hope you're doing well. So my question for today is, I have a rental property that I owe $50,000 on it, and I want for my future just to have an extra income. I want to know if it would be smart to get the equity out of that rental property to purchase either do a flip investment or just to get another property, a rental property, so I can have that reoccurring income for the future.
I wouldn't do that, Emily. If I were you, I would. Do you have a primary residence? And if so, do you owe money on it?
Yes, but the thought is that we pay off the rental property and in a couple of years move into it and sell the house that we're living in now, because the house that we're in now, we purchased it because, we have a lot of kids and soon, they'll be out. So
what do you owe on it?
Back on our house now that we live in, we owe $200,000.
Okay.
But if you borrow on the rental, then you're going to move into a property that has a mortgage on it. So it kind of defeats your idea.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm in my head, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly or not, is
no. You explained it. You said I want to take out a home equity loan or an equity line of credit on the rental property to buy more rental properties, but I'm going to move in the rental property later because it's going to be paid for. No, it won't. You took out a home equity loan on it.
And your whole thing was you wanted security, and all you're doing is taking on more debt. I mean...
So here's the thing, okay? Emily, I used to buy and sell real estate for a living. I've owned over 2,000 pieces of property in my life. I went bankrupt when I was 28 years old doing the crap you're talking about doing, only I did it with like 100 plus properties while you're doing it with one. So What I figured out from that is that the shortest distance between where you are and wealth and security is not more borrowed money. Borrowed money adds risk and stress to your life and the chance of failure to your life. Debt-free moves you the other way. And when you're debt-free, you don't have any payments. You have a cash flow that's unbelievably wonderful. So if I were you, I would work to get both of these current properties paid off, and then if I wanted to buy more rentals, I would save up and pay for them. That doesn't move as fast as your plan, but it also doesn't wreck the car, which your plan can do.
How much equity is in the rental?
$348,000.
You want to know? I'm going to just tell you what Jade Warshaw would do. I'd want my primary mortgage paid free and clear.
When are you going to sell the current house?
The one that I live in now?
Yeah, you said you're going to sell it and move into the rental, remember?
Well, that's in a couple of years. No, not more. Well,
what's
in a couple of years.
What's a couple of years? 5 or 1?
Well, no, my kids are still, the oldest is 15. So I'm, like I said, once they get...
How old is the youngest?
2.
Oh yeah,
this is not moving.
This is long term. This is what Jade would do. I would get rid of this rental, take the equity, and pay off my home because you're going to be in there the next 10 years. Your kid is 2.
Yep. And then when you get that house paid off, if you want to buy some rentals or do some flips, you do them.
Well, she's going to have extra money.
You do them with cash.
She's still going to have money left over. So maybe you're going to be there so much faster. You can get another rental.
Absolutely.
And pay cash.
Absolutely. That's what I would do. That's so opposite of what you called about that you're not going to do it, but that is what you should do. That's absolutely what you should do. All right, let's go to Mary in Tampa. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So, I find myself in a unique position. I am making more money than I've ever made in my life.
Wonderful. How much money are you making?
I'm making about $100,000 a year.
Whoop whoop!
Yay!
And
if you got any extra, send it to Dave's Cabo Fund.
Dave, you don't need that money, Dave.
And I'm going to be receiving a settlement in about 90 days for about $400,000.
Wow! What happened?
It was an accident.
Are you okay?
That's really all I can. Yes, but that's about all I can say on that.
Okay,
right
that's
now.
fine. I don't want you to get sued again or something. But yeah, way to go. Okay, wow. So more. You're how old are you?
I'm 56 years old, and I have zero saved for retirement.
Okay.
But I've been following your advice, and I've lowered all my expenses. I've paid off all my credit card debt.
Good.
I have 6 months in my emergency fund. But I'd like to, with this money, make sure I can secure my future.
Yeah. You got a house?
I'd like to. I have a travel trailer, and I own the RV lot, so my housing expense is almost nothing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to get into maybe like a quadplex or a triplex and live in one of the units and have the other 2 units, one maybe pay for it and the other one provide a little bit of an income stream.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I don't have a vehicle right now. I'm a truck driver, so I'm in my truck all the time. And I'd like to get a personal vehicle.
Yeah.
So my advice that I need from you is, number 1, what do I do with this money to make sure I don't blow it?
Mm-hmm.
And how should I be dealing with my income as far as my retirement?
Gotcha. Who does the collections for you on the trailer lot? How do you get paid?
No. I live in a trailer.
But you said you owned one.
I own the RV lot.
Just the lot you're on.
The little lot that your RV sits on.
Right. And I own the trailer that I live in.
Okay, so if you're on the road as a truck driver and you had a quadplex, how are you going to deal with renters?
That's what I want to know.
I would have my son live with me in one of the units, and he could.
How old is he?
He's 31.
Okay, and he's capable of doing all this.
Yes, he's actually been a handyman for an apartment community.
It's not the handyman I'm worried about. It's collecting deadgum rent.
I did real estate property management before I was a truck driver for 15 years.
Okay. So you know how to set it up and how to get it done. Okay. All right.
I do.
I would pay cash for a piece of real estate with the $400.
Okay. You would.
Yeah, and live in part of it and rent out part of it. I don't think your plan's bad, but I wouldn't go buy an $800,000 property. I'd buy a $400,000 property.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
would
I
you
was thinking
save
between 2 and 3?
Would you want
200 and 300.
Would you want to save any of this? You have zero in retirement. Did you say that?
That is correct.
Do you want to?
Right.
Do you want to
She
save?
said she bought two. You said 200,000 to 300,000 on the real estate, didn't you?
Correct. And then I'd
Okay.
like to put like 100,000 towards my retirement fund
There you go.
There we go.
There
Okay.
you go. And buy a car. Yeah.
and buy a car.
Yeah, I like it. You got a good plan. I think you're right on track. You're being very wise. Let me tell you what you're doing, and you didn't even know you were doing it. That is so wise.
Okay.
When people get a lump sum, they tend to spend it like 6 times over in their head. In other words, they take $400,000 and they spend it like it's $1.6 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And instead of laying out a detailed game plan, and you've got, okay, 200's going to this, 100's going to this, we're buying a car, and we're going to have a little more in the emergency fund, and this is what we're doing. Boom, 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 boom. You've already spent it real time in real dollars on paper on purpose before you got the money. That is unbelievably wise. Well done, Mary.
Thank you.
You're going to be in great shape at retirement if you keep thinking like this. She did good.
Everybody's into the quadplex.
It's all over the internet. That's all it is.
Thing. Well, I'm proud of Mary.
It's tic-tac real estate, people.
It is.
So, by the way, folks, single families are much better investments. Why?
Yeah, why the quadplex?
Because single families are better because when you get ready to sell them, you know who your buyer is? It's not another investor looking for a deal. It's Joe and Susie looking for a sweet little house. They're a retail buyer. Single families go up faster than quads do. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual and amazing relationships. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. Allison starts off this hour in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Hi, Allison. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I have a question about what to do if I'm denied for life insurance. I have kidney disease, and I've tried to get life insurance privately and through Zander Insurance, and I've been denied on both accounts.
You would be. Yeah. I'm sorry. How you doing?
Oh, it's good. It's more of an autoimmune disease that affects my kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it for about 10 or 11 years.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad you're doing okay. Yeah, that's a very hard one for the life insurance actuaries. They're going to struggle with that one. Are you single?
I am married.
Okay. And what is your income?
I'm self-employed, so it varies, but it's approximately $25,000-$30,000.
Okay. And your husband, what does he earn?
He earns. He just got a promotion, and so he'll be making $85,000.
Cool. Okay. And how old are you?
33.
Okay. Cool. And do you all have any money built up in savings or investments or retirement?
We have some retirement from previously, but we're on baby step 2, just about finishing up. We should be finished with baby step 2 in the next couple of months.
Good. How much is in your nest egg and your retirement from previous?
About $40,000.
Not much. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the purpose of life insurance, as you're probably aware, is to replace your lost income or something to happen to you. And we usually say 10 to 12 times your income. So $300,000 or $400,000 for a $30,000 income earner is what we would normally tell you to get on a 15 or a 20-year level term, and you can't get that. We've established that, okay? So what are we going to do in the interim? Well, number one, obviously the sooner we can have $300,000 or $400,000 in your retirement accounts over the years, which you're working your baby step 2 to get there, I understand, then you're self-insured at that point. If something happened to you, your husband could use that money to make sure the family was okay, and in terms of the loss of your income. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The other things that you can do are what are called guaranteed issue policies. That means they don't do a medical. They're usually smaller policies, like $10,000 or $20,000 or something like that, and they're a lot more expensive than traditional term.
You can get those through your mortgage, life insurance, that sort of thing, Dave?
Yeah. Yeah, you could take out a mortgage life insurance policy on your mortgage that paid off your mortgage in the event of your death, and that's a guaranteed issue policy. Mm-hmm. And again, it's about 5x what term is, but it's still not that bad. And so, like, if you just took care of the mortgage at your death, if you had a premature death and your husband and kids, he would be financially, mathematically in good shape, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's one place to pick it up. Another is what kind of a business do you have?
So I'm a court reporter, and I have a young daughter, so I stay at home, and I pretty much edit other people's transcripts. Is
there an association of court reporters?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
They probably issue some $20,000, $50,000 no medical required guaranteed issue policies that are, again, like that mortgage. They're probably 5 to 10 times. Sometimes you can get $10,000 with your checking account at your bank, that kind of a thing. But I would patch together a few of those with your mortgage life, like Jade's suggesting. And then other than that, I wouldn't worry about it. I just save and invest. And the faster you have a big investment pile, the faster neither one of you need life insurance.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. My husband has a life insurance policy that's a bigger policy, obviously. But I just wasn't able to get anything like that.
So you got to get the guaranteed issue, but they're more expensive, and or continue to work your baby steps to get to the point that you become self-insured over time. So, good question.
It's a great question.
Yeah. So the guaranteed issue, again, they're almost including the mortgage policy, life insurance policy. By the way, if you're healthy and can get insurance, don't buy mortgage life.
Right.
It's 5 times more expensive than the same amount of term insurance.
Yeah, that's like
We're
a last
recommending it to her because she can't get life insurance, okay? Mm-hmm. But the guaranteed issue policies are more because they're obviously taking more risk. They have no idea who's signing up.
Exactly. No medical exam?
Yeah, and they fall in the gimmick category, really. You would never do them unless you couldn't get insurance otherwise.
Yeah, what would be the purpose? Yeah.
Well, people get just like, it's convenience. Oh yeah, my association. I got one through the home builders. I got through my electrical. I'm an electrician. Or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. And they it's right there in front of you. It's like the Aflac crap. That's the same kind of stuff. Yes. It's just handy. Mm-hmm. It's and it's only $3 a week, which when you add it up is like, good Lord, that's a lot.
That's true.
But yeah, that's what. But again, it does have a use, and the use is a situation like Allison finds herself in. That would be the way to go. Guys, there are several things you can do with insurance that are smart, but there's a whole bunch of things you can do with insurance that are dumb.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I think I hear a lot of people that get caught up on the single issue insurance, this is in case I get cancer, I've got this policy.
Yeah. Like your health insurance doesn't cover cancer.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. They didn't sell you heart attack insurance.
Yeah.
But they sold you cancer insurance.
They might try now that you mentioned it on the air. You might have given somebody an idea.
Yeah. And, accidental death. In the case of accidental death, you get twice as much.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you're not double dead.
Right. Yeah, it's...
Why do I need twice as much if I die by accident?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Your family needs the same amount either way. And so don't buy those gimmicky things like that.
What you said, I think, is a point that a lot of people miss. The whole purpose of it is to replace your income. I think a lot of people think, well, the purpose of my insurance is to make me rich if something happens.
Make the family rich.
Make the family rich.
No.
And that's not it.
Yeah. So if you make $50,000 and you got $600,000 on you and you die, your spouse takes $600,000 invested in good mutual funds. Mm-hmm. If it averages 10%, that's $60,000. You're now worth slightly more dead than alive. So don't buy too much. You'll have to sleep with one eye open.
I was going to say, you better trust your spouse.
Yeah, and so, but that's what it's for. And so that 600 would sit there perpetually spitting off 60 a year.
That's right.
To offset the loss of the $50,000 income earner. And so the family is just fine that way perpetually. So that's where the 10 to 12 times your income comes from. And most people are underinsured and they buy the wrong kinds of insurance and they get the gimmicks and they get ripped off, and they're really spending a lot of money. They're spending more than enough money to have the proper coverage, but don't do it. Hey, if you want to know more, click on Coverage Checkup.
Yes.
On our website. It's a free thing. It'll run a coverage checkup on you and say, oh no, that's gimmick, don't do that. Oh, that is good. And our coverage checkup tool will help you get dialed in on the right kinds of insurance. And as she said, check Xander Insurance for your term insurance. This is The Ramsey Show.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. So, Jade, one of your Instagram followers is who sent this, right?
Yes. I had somebody pop into my DMs, as you guys sometimes do, and she was like, Jade, you've got to see this. And so I click open the email, and it's a ad for a company called Lend Table. And so I opened it up, and I look at it, and it basically says, you can't afford to fund your 401k. Let us do it for you. Lend Table, we will loan you the money to invest into your 401k up to your match so that you can get your company match. And then we've magically solved all your problems here, except for a couple of problems here. So just to make this clear, crystal clear, you're a person, you work at your job, you get a 3% match. But because
you're broke,
you're not on a budget, you're spending all your money, you say, I don't have any money to invest in my 401k and everybody's telling me I need to do it. So I'm going to go to Lend Table and they're going to loan me the money.
The 3%.
The 3%. So they give you $6,000 or whatever it is. You take that money, give it to your employer, they invest it, and then they match it. But here's the catch. and let me tell you, it's a catch. It says, once approved, you can link your company-sponsored retirement account with your bank, and we will disperse the payments. You charge $10 a month, so this is a subscription service, so you're paying $10 a month.
$120 a year.
And you sign your contract. Now, from that on, they're putting the money in and meeting the match for you. Now, here's the kicker, and this is the one that gets me. If you leave your job, so let's just say
when you leave your job.
Yeah, when you leave your job. Now, you don't just have to be fired. If you decide to move on.
Die, you retire, you take a better job.
Yeah. You are on the hook for everything that they've lended you up until that point. Dave, what if you did this for like 4 or 5 years? That's a lot of money.
It could end up being substantial.
Substantial. And not only that, here's where I'm like, you guys, they take 20% of your earnings. 20%.
20% of what the employer match is and 20% of what it goes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So was it worth it?
So let me get this straight. This is a credit card that charges you a $120 annual fee and a 20% interest rate.
Ooh.
And it's tied to your 401k and really screwing up your life when you leave your company.
Well, it gets worse.
Because you have to write a check for the whole thing right then. And if you can't, guess what? You're going to be cashing out the 401k or borrowing on the 401k or screwing up the 401k. There's so many stupid things here for you to do in one possible thing, and it's all bad for you and all good for them.
Well, I love that it says, hey, if you choose to, you can just repay us by getting a 401k withdrawal, a 401k loan.
You know what? I bet you Lynn Table will issue one of their credit cards, and you could move the money over to there, and that's probably only 28%. You know, the thing that occurred to me when I saw that, I wonder what the table is. I just watched the, have you seen the John Wick movies?
No, Dave.
John Wick, the evil empire in the John Wick movies is a thing called the Table. The mafia organization in the background of these hitmen. Okay, it's called the Table.
Okay.
And if you want to be an assassin for the Table, you have to like give up a finger or whatever, right?
Okay.
You have to prove your commitment, right?
I'm tracking.
So the table, however, will turn on you. That's why they call the tables turned. That's why they call that. So,
wow. Okay.
And so the table, and that's what I thought of when I saw this. You're going to give up a finger.
Yeah, this is like 8 digits.
This is like you're draw a nub back.
Well,
oh my gosh!
At the very least, they should leave you the middle one because that's what you want to give them.
You could just leave it with them as a permanent sign of our affection.
Oh man, it's terrible.
God! So you're going to borrow at 20% of what the employer pays you, and $10 and any gains, and $10 a month, $120 a year, in order to get the employer match because you're too broke to get the match.
And 10%
when you do stupid butt stuff, that's what makes you broke.
Yeah.
Stupid butt stuff makes you broke. And this Lynn Table, let me help you guys. This falls under the heading of stupid butt stuff. So
real stupid.
I think you and I just made new friends over at Lynn Table.
Yeah,
I think they love Jade and Dave now.
Well, I don't like when
they screw people.
I don't like that. I don't like products that benefit from other people's bondage. I hate that. I hate that.
There's no upside for the customer.
There's no
all
upside
for Lindy Table.
And they're taking advantage of the fact that they and you're buying into it when you do this. When companies make products based on the fact of you're probably not going to do
more
this.
Money at the end. Yeah.
Who stays at the same job?
Oh gosh.
Who stays at the same job their whole life?
When you leave, you're going to have a cash crunch. Bro. You have a problem.
Yeah,
because it's like borrowing on your 401k in that sense. Because when you leave your company there, that's why we tell you not to borrow on your 401k because you get yourself in a crack, man. It's bad news.
Yeah,
horrible stuff.
Domino effect, bad.
All right, let's go to Vicky in San Antonio. Hi, Vicky. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Jade.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, I'm 55 now. I worked your plan, implemented your books in my 40s, and paid off the house, did the term life insurance for my partner at the time. And we ended up splitting back in 2017, splitting the house, and I had about $100,000 that I still have in a savings account that I'm wanting to figure out what to do with. And I kind of had it I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it because I was going to have to move.
So you sold the house or the other person bought you out?
Yeah, well, the other person bought me out.
And that's the 100K?
Yeah. That's the 100K. It was like 130 now. It's 100K.
Where you live now?
Now I'm in a new city, actually I live in the Braunfels area.
Do you own a house?
I do not own a house right now.
Okay.
I actually relocated to a new city. I'm living with my mom, which is awesome, that's not a problem. I can afford to get my own place, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. If I want to buy, if I want to rent for a while. So right now I've just took a full-time job that started back in end of March, in this new town that I love, and I kind of grew up in it. So I've never worked in a place that I grew up in. So I love the community. I'm marketing. I love meeting all the people, and I think I definitely want to stay here. That was my issue. I didn't know where I wanted to really plant.
So buy a house.
So I think so. I just don't know how big. And there's so much exploding growth right now. And I'm thinking, well, shoot, do I get one of these, condos, one of these apartments? I can live in there for a while. I don't need much. I don't need much. I make about $82K. I got $178 in an IRA.
Yeah, you just want to be riding this wave up instead of having a crash on you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wanting to know how much to spend. I would really like something like a 2-bedroom condo, something like that, where I can kind of just get my feet wet.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But I would really like to start, reaching my full potential and really get out of really doing paychecks and making my own money in some way, either a small business in this area or, slowly just working up to basically not working for someone else is my goal in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know what you want to do.
I think you know exactly what you want to do.
Getting a house in the area, getting something that's within your means, the way we teach it is, I think, right up your alley, which is we don't want that payment to be more than 25% of your take-home pay, all included on a 15-year fixed mortgage. And if you wanted it to be, you don't have to go all the way up to 25%. If you want it to be more modest, you could pull it back a little bit, but you've got this $100,000 saved. I'm assuming that you've probably got some other money set aside. If you don't, make sure you save.
She had her emergency fund in place and is debt free. So I'm chunking the $100,000 down on a nice 2-bedroom condo, and that meets your needs. Again, no more than a fourth of your take home pay. That's the plan. And Jade's exactly right. That's what I would do.
Good deal.
And buy something that will be fairly easy to sell later, because you may decide to do something else.
That's
later.
right.
But let's keep it conservative so that you've got lots of cash flow to open and start your business as well. This is The Ramsey Show. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions of your life. You need a partner like Churchill Mortgage. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country, and they're Ramsey trusted because they do what's right for you. Churchill works with you to build a mortgage the Ramsey way, one that doesn't bust your budget, sets you up for financial success, and helps you get out of debt faster. Go to churchillmortgage.com today and get started. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. If you missed it earlier this week, we announced that we're taking Smart Conference Weekend on the road. Chicago, Illinois, we're headed your way this fall, September 15 and 16. Me, Rachel Cruz, George Campbell, Dr. John Deloney, Ken Coleman, and Jade Warshaw for 2 action-packed days of life-changing content. Actually, it's Friday night, all day Saturday, to help you be successful in every area of your life with your money, your career, your mental health, and your relationships. We got a lot planned, great speakers, great teachers through the whole time, and a live taping of Smart Money Happy Hour podcast with George and Rachel. And there's other surprises throughout the weekend. This is your chance to join thousands of like-minded people and get smarter. And you get to meet Rachel, George, John, Ken, Jade in person, take pictures with them. We're headed to Chicago. Now, we've got VIP Platinum, all kinds of special experiences. And the tickets start for the general admission at just $79. And they go up from there depending on how involved and plugged in you want to be. We've got, I think, 60 tickets for a dinner after the event with all of the Ramsey personalities with only 60 people. So now that ticket is not $79, I'll just tell you. So check it out, RamseySolutions.com/events. Gia, is it Gia or Gia?
Gia.
Gia?
Yep.
Okay, Grand Island, Nebraska. Hi, Gia, how are you?
I'm better than I deserve. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right, so I've got a question. My husband and I have been working your plan, and we're actually coming in a couple weeks to do our debt-free screen.
Good.
My question is, right now, my husband and I apparently are not normal, and we only have one debit card with both of our names on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to decide where we want to get our next debit card. So I'm trying to decide, is it better to go with a small federal credit union around us, or would it be better to go with like a bigger corporation that would have a better interest rate for the savings? Because my thought process was to move our emergency savings into one of their savings accounts that I would still have access to with the debit card, and it would be hooked together, and then allow it to be able to gain interest. But I'm not sure which is better.
No, I wouldn't have a debit card connected to your emergency fund.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That's asking for trouble.
Yeah, you'll find a couch on sale that'll be an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So would you still have a second
Yes.
debit card? Because I've just had
Yes.
it where,
Yeah,
they
if
shut it
the
down
stupid
because
thing
they thought it
gets
was a fraudulent transaction.
exactly, if it gets shut down, you can't pay for dinner or something. You don't have enough cash in your pocket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have several debit cards, and I actually have multiple cards with one bank, different accounts. And then I've got another bank that we also have cards with, so that I'm not stuck. I carry two in my wallet, but I have in one of those on the business, and one in our case, and one on my personal. And then I have more, in my briefcase, so to speak. And if I need something for something else, I've got access that way. But no, I don't do any business with large corporate banks. I work with regional banks and local credit unions.
Okay. So it would you can even get it for like a different, a different account, but at the same, federal credit union or something.
Yeah, I'd drop $1,000 into a checking account over somewhere. It's not how much interest it earns. That doesn't really matter. This is just more as a safety net.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm with that.
That makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate you joining us. So here's the thing. Credit cards and debit cards, reminder to everyone, they run on, in most places, they run on the same algorithm for fraud.
Yeah.
So if your credit card's going to be shut down because it got some kind of a fraud notification or something that woke the computer up and said, oh, this one's in bad, something's going on here, then your credit card will be shut down. Same thing. So you can be, if you only had one credit card or one debit card, you can be stranded these days.
That's true. So she was saying they were operating off of one debit card for the family. That's
for the whole family. But they both have. I mean, Sharon and I both have a debit card on the same account. That's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what we have
in a sense. And,
the numbers are different though. So if mine
I think that's what she meant.
If mine was messed up, I might be able to get a hold.
True.
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
Yeah, you could issue another one to your spouse.
Yeah.
And that would give you, if you're together and you had a problem, that would give you, because we've done that.
Well, I messed up and left my card in the pocket. It went through the washer and it's bent, and half the time it doesn't work. So half the time I'm like, Sam, let me use your debit card. It's the same account.
You can order another.
I can, Dave. That I'm working. I got work to do. I can't be.
I don't have time for this stuff. Deborah's in Philadelphia. Hi, Deborah. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I would like to help my son get into a single-family home, and I'm not sure the best way to go about it.
Why does he need your help?
He doesn't qualify for much of a mortgage. He's currently renting a house with a roommate. My son recently got engaged, and he and his fiancée would like to live together. Unfortunately, I'm over in New Jersey, and rents here are just crazy. They'll never get ahead if they got a rent. And
Deborah, you're not going to like me
or me.
Yeah.
You don't need to do. You don't need to do this.
No, why?
Because you're not helping him. You're enabling him. He hasn't got his crap together enough to go buy a house. You're going to get him into a house, and it's going to be a curse, not a blessing, because he hasn't got his crap together to get into a house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in which way do you say it's going to be a curse?
He's broke.
You said he doesn't
can't
qualify.
pay the bill. The reason they won't give him a loan is because they know he isn't going to pay the bill. And then you get him into the house, and he doesn't pay the bill. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he can't pay the bill.
Well, I kind of look at it as giving him part of his inheritance now.
You gonna pay? Are you gonna give him a house for free?
I don't know about that, but
then you're going to sign him up for something he can't do. That's not a blessing, Deborah.
Well, how about if I were to buy the house and he rented it from me?
How about your grown son becomes a man?
Okay.
That's what you should do. He needs to be on his own. He needs to stand up. He's going to get married to this girl. They need to set up and have a life instead of mommy taking care of him. Really, this is not good for him, Deborah. It's not good for him. I know you're the sweetest lady on the planet, and I'm being mean to you, but you're just trying to be helpful to your little boy. But I got to tell you, one of the things I had to do with my wife when we were raising a son was to let him be a man. Let him. Is it Sharon? No.
Yes.
You can't do. You got to. Young people have to have dignity.
Yes, and she owes it not only to him, but this is the side I see, to the girl that he's dating, because she needs to see what kind of man this is going to be. And if mommy is swooping in and paying all the bills so they can live together and la-ti-da, she's never going to see who he truly is.
He's disqualified as a proper husband at that point. Yeah. Hey, guys, moms and dads, love your children enough to let them do hard things called life. Like I told you, Deborah, I told you at the front of this you weren't going to like me, and you're not going to do it. You're going to go in there and interfere and screw this up because you ain't going to listen to a thing I said. But the deal is that moms and dads, if you will let your kids find their way, coach them, cheer for them. If they're in a really hard pinch, be a safety net, but don't interfere. We're seeing data right now that 25% of millennials, their parents are paying for their housing in one way or another. Let me just tell you, moms and dads, not good. Not good for your little millennial. They are much better off to face some calluses, some stress, some hard times, make some hard choices, stand up and square their shoulders and be a man, be a woman, instead of a child. It's not good for them. They're not good for themselves. They're not good for their spouses. They're not good for their employers because mommy and daddy swoop in and take care of everything. Bad plan, America. Bad plan. So, Deborah, we love you. You're sweet. You love your little boy, but he's not a little boy anymore. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is The Ramsey Show. Dan is next in Sarasota, Florida. Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure, sir.
I have a question about long-term health care. We purchased it in 2009, and this last couple of weeks ago, we saw that they were going to raise the price up to like 75% over the next 3 years. My question is there another alternative, or what do you think about doing that?
Well, my guess is you have 3 years of coverage. Would that be right?
Yes, that's correct.
And what are they charging?
About
what are they charging you?
or something like that.
I'm sorry?
Right now, we're paying $310 a month for two of us. And mine is 158, and my wife's is 151. She's a lot younger than I am.
So it's $3,700 a year. What are they going to take it to?
Probably like $6,200 a year.
In 1 year?
Wow.
No, in 3 years. 25 to 30% every year.
Okay.
And that's really different than what they did in the past. So.
Okay. All right. Have you looked at nursing home providers in your area?
We have some, yes.
Okay. I'd go shop a couple of them. I think you're going to find $80,000 to $100,000 a year is your exposure. The average nursing home stay in America is 2.5 years. If you go past 3 years, you're self-insured anyway, right? So all you've got is basically $250,000 worth of insurance.
Uh-huh.
That's what you've got. So how much money do y'all have?
We have enough. Plenty put aside.
No, I mean, is your net worth $5 million or $1 million?
Oh, no. More like $1 million. Like $1 million.
All right. So 75% of the ladies outlive their husbands. So the normal statistical scenario is that you go into the nursing home, you spend $250,000, $300,000, and she's left with what's left.
Mm-hmm.
That's the normal scenario, statistically, okay? Now, some people live longer in nursing homes. Truthfully, the vast majority don't make it 2 years once you go in, okay? Statistically. It's not saying nursing homes are killing people, but that's not the point, okay? Now, the other thing that's an option is you could just decide to self-insure.
That was what I was going to ask. How old are you guys, Dan?
Well, I'm 77, and my wife is a young 72.
Okay. So if one of you required care, I also would, in addition to pricing a nursing home, I would price what it would take to get 24-hour care in the home.
Right.
You probably can do that for $80,000.
Okay.
Right? That's what you're going to spend on the nursing home. And then you've just got to decide, do I want to spend $3,700, $4,300, $5,000, $6,000 against a $250,000 exposure? Because that's your average exposure, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get any more out of this policy than that. That's the most, because it covers 3 years.
Yep.
And if you said, if you said $80,000, that's $240,000. So, we're right around $250,000. And so my guess is that if something happened to you and you burned through $250,000, your wife would be okay on the $750,000. Oh, by the way, if it happens 7 years from now, you're probably going to have $2 million to work with.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Because your money's invested. Well, your money's invested, right? I hope it's invested.
Yes.
What portion of that?
Yes.
What portion of that net worth is invested in the stock market?
None of it. I have it all in a savings account, but I'm getting like 3.5%.
Did you say that you have $1 million in a savings account?
No, I said I'm worth $1 million. My house is worth more than that.
What portion of that is in a savings account?
Well, they're in their 70s. He's doing that for safety. Let's stay on. Okay. Yeah, you're the thing. I mean, I'm just slightly younger than you, and I would probably have some of that still invested. That's what Jade's having a hemorrhage about.
I'm hemorrhaging.
But they're 72 and 77. So,
okay.
That's okay. But the point being, it's not going to double in 7 years. I'm wrong, because it's not invested.
It's not invested.
It's going to double in 20 years. So you're not going to double. Okay, so.
But it will grow.
If your wife is comfortable with it, she can live off of $700,000 left over after you spend $300 on you, then you can drop these policies. But until then, you carry them. If I'm in your shoes, it's kind of on the bubble. I'm probably going to keep them a couple more years. Because a trade of $3,000 for a potential $300,000 or $250,000 exposure, and make sure that your policy covers in-home care as well. And again, I'm recommending that. I'm not against nursing homes. I don't think that they all do a bad job. Some of them do, but everybody does a bad job. So, but the nursing home industry is not evil. They do a good job. They have a tough job. But in our case, the Ramseys, we've got plenty of money to do either one. We simply will just hire in-home care. We can afford it, and we'll just staff it up. And so when you reach the point of being self-insured, that's what a lot of people are choosing to do because of quality of life and so forth. But the thing you've got to swear you're going to do is not leave all the care on the spouse.
Right.
Get some people in there to help carry the weight of the process. In some cases, literally carry the weight of the process. So, that's what you can look at. And so long-term care insurance, if you have less than $1 million and you are 60 years old, as far as I'm concerned, it's mandatory. you should get long-term care insurance. If you've got north of $1 million and you are $1 million, like I said, he's on the bubble, and you want to talk about self-insuring, in either case, look at in-home care coverage in your long-term care policy, and look at in-home care as a possibility if you're self-insuring. Again, because you know, I don't know. There's something about the nursing home that people like. Oh, I took care of that now. Well, no, you really haven't. There's still a lot of stuff going on.
That's right.
But yeah, the long-term care insurance at 60 years old, I would not buy it before you're 60. The probability of using it before you're 60 is less than 1%, and I would not buy it for that. But once you're 60, I would, and Dan's been wise, I think, to have bought this.
Yeah.
I'm probably keeping it if I'm him. And one of the reasons I'm going to say that is he's super conservative. He's not invested.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what threw me off. That's what I had a slight conniption over.
You did.
I did.
But that's true. I mean, yeah, you need to have, because if you could be, let's say you got $300,000, it's sitting in the bank at 3%, and it could be making 12 in a good mutual fund. That's a $30,000 swing.
Yeah.
That's what that is. And so a year, that's $2,500 a month swing. That would pay almost for the whole thing. I mean, it takes us along. Not that it would pay for more than pay for the policy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So.
My thought was just on how that net worth was broken up because of, if the majority of that is sitting in your home but you're not going anywhere. I feel like there's a couple of things that you definitely want to play that scenario out if you chose to self-insure.
Yeah, if it's an $800,000 home and $200,000 in mutual funds,
you can't do that.
You can't. You got to keep the policy. Yeah, you're exactly right. So the mix would matter.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get to with Dan, but
yeah,
something tells me it's probably kind of equal. He's probably got a Sarasota. He's probably got, he didn't say, but maybe 500 in his house, and then the rest.
Hopefully that's the mix the way it is. Yeah. So with you being conservative, Dan, I'm going to tell you probably keep it. If you had $2 million, I would tell you to probably self-insure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big difference.
That'd be the difference. So you did a good job, though. You're
sure
retiring a millionaire. You did great. You're taking care of your family. The whole process is excellent. Very, very well done. Love it. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Starting off this hour is Jill in Dallas. Hi, Jill. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, sir. I am so grateful that I have been able to get through the lines. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, we're honored. How can we help?
I have an investment question, please. I value your opinion very much. We have a question about paying off a reverse mortgage for my father-in-law. My husband and I make between $180,000 and $200,000 a year. We have no debt. We have about 1.2 in our retirement accounts. We own our house, and we also own 2 other houses.
Wow.
Very good.
So your net worth is north of $4 million?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Okay.
One of the houses is pretty small. That's a story in itself. But anyway, our father, my husband's father, has a reverse mortgage, and we would like to pay it off. The interest rate seems to be quite
ridiculous.
exorbitant.
Yeah.
Yes, and in another 6 or 7 years, the interest will have eaten up the complete value of the home. I just want to know from your perspective, we were considering taking out the money. There's $160 owed on the house. We were considering withdrawing it. My husband is 59 and a half. And we were considering withdrawing it and making it like an investment. Since real estate does appreciate, I realized that his father is 89. And so this could be tied up for 10 plus years, but long-term investments usually are just that long-term. So I just, from your perspective, would really value your opinion in what do you think of this? What pitfalls do you see?
It's very sad that your father-in-law is 89 and he's got himself in a position with these rip-off reverse mortgages to be in a pinch. I'm so sorry. The great news is you guys are in great shape and you're able to do this. So does your husband have siblings?
He does. Our thought was at the end that if we took out what we spent on the house plus the same gain that we had made on our 401k, and let that be ours, because you can't take the money out and not make something on it. Because if
what is the house currently worth?
The house is worth about $330,000.
Okay. All right. And none of the other siblings are in a position to help.
No, sir. We bought one of the siblings a house so that he could live in the county and get county health care. That's one of the houses we own. So he is very ill and needed to be inside our county line so that the county could cover his health care. So.
Okay. All right. So no one's going to object to anything here then?
I don't think so. His dad would like to keep it a secret until after he's gone and let it be a surprise.
I think that's a bad idea.
That's how everybody gets. That's how people spend the rest of their lives pissed off. Nope, we're going to tell everybody in the family what's going on, and here's what we're going to do.
Yes,
we're
sir.
going to deed the house to you guys.
Yes, sir.
And you all just pay it off, and it's your house. And then you pay for the insurance, and you pay for the taxes, you pay for the maintenance, and Dad gets to live there for life.
Yes, sir.
Or as long as he can stay in the house, that is. Anyway, not life.
Yes.
But if he has to be cared for in some other way, then that'd be different. But yeah, just we'll get you out, Dad. But go ahead and just deed it to us now, and that's our return. And we're also going to have to invest more because we're going to have to cover the maintenance and we're going to have to cover the taxes and insurance for you to live there for free as long as you're able to live in the house.
Yes, sir.
And that's a fair deal financially. It's also a very kind thing for you all to do, and you're in a position to do it, and you'll be okay financially. You're not stupid, but I'm not doing this and keep it a secret. Secrets are ugly and stuff like this.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't want to cause a problem.
You will.
We just wanted. Okay. Well, then we won't keep it a secret.
Yeah, they need to. It's just fair. Okay, and if anybody wants, if anybody has a better plan, y'all can do it. But if you don't have a better plan, you don't have the money. We're standing here with the money. We can do this. But I don't want some character in the family to be yelling later, "Oh, Jill took advantage of Grandpa."
Yeah.
And
it has to be the house has to be deeded up front. It can't be, hey, we'll give him the money to pay the house off, and then he wills us the house. Like, it can't be that.
No. You get the house in your name now.
Okay. And we were taking the money out of our 401k to pay it off, but I mean, we've got plenty in there, and we've still got another many years to still input.
You don't have enough in a side investment account that's not 401k to do it, do you?
No, we've only got about 50 in another account. We don't have enough to pay it off.
Yeah, you're going to pay taxes, so it's going to cost you $200,000 to get this out. To clear 160, and so I'm still doing it though. It's why you work. You're able to take care of Dad, but I'm not going to have anybody objecting to this, and we're going to control the variables because he obviously has. We know that he doesn't always make good decisions because he made the decision to put a reverse mortgage on there. And so I can't leave the house in his name hoping he's going to make good decisions. No, we're going to take care of this so that we can take care of him.
Okay. All right. I just want to do the right thing. That's all. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
You have such a good heart.
You do. And hopefully everyone will see the good in this, and there won't be a relative that objects. But if there is, at least they'll know it on the front end, and we can just go, this is what we're doing. And unless you've got a better plan to take care of him, he's otherwise going to end up losing his house. So what do you people want to do here? Yeah. These reverse mortgages are from the pit of hell. They're horrible.
Terrible.
Absolutely horrible. High interest rates, high fees. And what's weird is, of course, the reverse is they pay, for those of you who don't know how it works, they're paying the old man payments until it gets to 65% loan to value. When it gets to 65% loan to value, they stop the payments, and now they just add interest to the 65 until it eats up the entire value, and then they foreclose.
That's so sad.
Or if he doesn't keep up the taxes and insurance, even after they stop the payments, that throws it in default and they foreclose. So regular home mortgages have about a 2 to a 3% foreclosure rate. Reverse mortgages have a 15% foreclosure rate. Just to get, so I'm not kidding when I say this is a ripoff.
Yeah, that's
true. I mean, and there's, and they're sold on television on ads by washed up actors between the walk-in bathtubs and the Snuggie commercial.
I saw Joe Namath, Montel Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My greatest fear in life is I live long enough to do one of those ads.
Oh, no, Dave. You would never.
You're right. I would never. I'm not that desperate to be in front of a camera. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. Whole bunch of you are brand new. We appreciate that. We're glad you're here. You can help us out, if you would, whether you're an old-timer or whether you're brand new. We need the help. You can do 3 things to help us move this show out and help America and serve America by telling them the truth because we love them. And that's simply this. Share the show. Tell people about it. Click the share link if you're on a podcast or YouTube or something like that. Click the share link. Share the link. However you want to do it. I don't care. But pass this along to your friends. You can subscribe or follow if you're on a podcast, and you can leave us a 5-star review if you're podcast or YouTube. Say something nice, like 5 stars. Because Mama said if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just move along. And now I think we're number 11 podcast on Apple's ranking.
Wow.
It comes and goes in the entire world of podcasts, which is some 2 or 3 million podcasts that are out there. That's not a nuanced category. That's of all of them. And so thank you, guys. We appreciate that. We have not spent $300 million on marketing this year. Instead, you guys are just telling us you like it by telling each other about it. So thank you, thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Katrina is in Chicago. Hi, Katrina. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thanks. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So I own a condo in Chicago, and I am looking to buy a second home in Nashville, Tennessee.
Why?
And what I'm wondering is why? Because my boyfriend got transferred to Nashville, and then I've been doing long distance. And so now we want to live in the same city to figure out if we're going to marriage.
So you're going to move from Chicago to Nashville?
Well, I'm not planning to. So I'm trying to work it out with my job so that I could be fully remote. But in the meantime, I have to come in I'm supposed to be around 60%. So I'm still doing that by going to Nashville, but it's a little painful.
So you want a second home in Tennessee. Is your current home in Chicago paid for?
It is.
Wow, okay.
So I don't have any debt currently.
Okay.
And I really don't want to get any because you know how this works.
Yeah, I do know how it works. Well, my question is, why do you feel that you would have to, just hypothetically, why do you feel that you would have to buy a home so soon?
Why don't you just rent an apartment for 6 months?
The rent is so expensive.
But even if this wasn't, even if there was no boyfriend or anything like that, we would never say to just walk in and up and buy a house. You would just want to get a feel of the area, figure out what life is.
I have been getting a feel of the area in the last. I've been doing this for a year and a half, like going back and forth.
How old are you?
I'm 46.
What do you make?
I make 183, and then a bonus that's about 100.
How long you been dating boyfriend?
Since we're pandemic love.
Pandemic love.
That's
only good thing that came out of it.
Petri dish love.
That's much better than puppy love. I'm just saying.
But here's the thing. I'm I'm robbing the cradle a bit. He's much younger. I didn't know that, but it is what it is.
Doesn't matter.
So
I don't care.
That's another reason why I have.
That's just another reason. That's just another reason we think you're awesome, right there.
Yeah.
So okay.
Cougar.
Okay.
So but here's the deal: you're making a permanent real estate decision in a temporary situation. That's a bad move. This is a situation where you rent until the permanent shakes out. There's two issues on the permanent. When the relationship goes from boyfriend to husband and when the job allows you to move, now we have permanent. Then we buy. As a matter of fact, then we buy, you and him, because you're married. Until then, you're doing this gypsy thing back and forth, corporate gypsy thing, and remote semi, and long distance love affair, and all this, and all of that just screams rent.
Yeah, and not to mention, if we're really playing this out long term, okay, you got the paid for house in Chicago. Let's say you come to Tennessee, you rent for a while, you got, your work thing works out. You get engaged, you decide to get married, you can sell the Chicago house and you can probably end up buying whatever house you get here in Tennessee in cash, as opposed to trying to, do you see what I'm saying?
This screams rent for 6 months.
Yeah, long term, it's better to do it this way.
Okay, but then if I hear what you're saying, but then can I ask?
Yeah.
My question was going to be, when I buy that place, I have cash in 3 different places.
Pay cash for
and
it.
I'm wondering. Okay.
Yeah, but you're going to sell the place in Chicago.
Yeah, you got to sell the place in Chicago.
So the end of the story, if it goes like you think, unless I'm missing something, is you're married and live in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
That's the end of the story. So you're going to sell the place in Chicago, and you've got cash, and you've got him. Hopefully he's worth something.
We didn't even ask about that. Please tell us it's good, Katrina.
Yeah, no, it's good. He's just farther, he's more puppy in his,
How young is this guy?
No. I don't mean that, but compared to, there's a lot of earning potential between 32 and 46.
Okay.
All right.
I see you, Katrina. I see you out here.
All right. What's happening here is this is an exciting adventure in your life, and don't confuse that with real estate. Real estate's when things are stable and boring and you pay cash. So I would not buy right now, because if you buy, you're going to end up selling what you buy and doing something different when this all settles. You're going to end up saying, we want to set up our lives, and it's not in this house or not in this condo. And so it just bothers you because you're cheap to rent, because you feel like you're wasting money. But rent, when it's in a proper scenario, and this is a proper scenario, is called paying for patience.
And look, if you move all the way down to Tennessee, your boy better put a ring on it. That's all I'm saying. If you're making this type of transition, he needs to come through, and I hope that he does for you.
Mama Jade with relationship advice. There we go, right there. Ding, ding. I love it. Good stuff. Stacy's in Bakersfield, California. Hi, Stacy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I listened to your podcast on the way home from a trip, and I was really, you pulled me in. I'm very newly divorced. I've never operated on a budget at all. I have some debt in this new single life of mine, and I have a little bit of money in a brokerage account. And
how much debt and how much in the brokerage account?
Only $22,000. I have about $38,000 in debt. Half of it is a medical bill, and the other half is credit cards. And
What do you make?
Really just need some direction and help.
What do you make?
I make, I gross about 107. This year I'm going to get a 5%, so but 113 a year.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I pay into a pension. I have a pension.
Mm-hmm. No kids, right?
Right.
All right. If I were you, I would probably do that. If I had money set aside that was not retirement, I'd probably pull some from it to pay debt, especially if it's single stocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna cash it all in and clear the debt, and because we're gonna get you on the debt snowball, and we're gonna put you on a budget. And a budget's not a beans and rice thing. It may be for a little while till you get some of these bills cleaned up. Yeah. But then after that, it's just you telling your money what to do and giving you confidence in this new stage of life for handling your own money.
And I also want you to download Every Dollar. That's the budgeting app that we use here, and it's great. It's gonna help anybody who's never budgeted before learn how to do it, because it's not just an app where you put the numbers in, it's teaching you, and there's teachings that are built into the app that help you throughout this. So that's what I would do. And I'm excited that you're on this journey. I think that it's exciting that you're finally getting in control of your money, and that starts with you budgeting. It starts with you getting out of debt. And make sure before you do all of this that you put aside $1,000 for emergencies, because you need that first things first.
For your starter beginner emergency fund. Yep. So every dollar will do that. And I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead, since you're starting a new phase of life, put you into Financial Peace University. That's a 9-week class, a 9-lesson class on how to handle money. It'll give you your confidence in this area, and we'll help you do it. We're going to do it all for free. It's just our gift to you to help you start fresh. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Nicole in Syracuse, New York. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, Dave and Jade. How you guys doing?
Great. What's up?
So my husband and I are on baby step 2. We just paid off one of our cars, well, our only car, with a huge $9,000 payment to eliminate that debt. It took a lot of strong arming my husband to let go of that money to pay it off, but we did. So last year we sold his car to get out of that debt and save money, since he's able to walk to both his jobs. It's worked for us for almost a year. My husband has a full-time job for $22 an hour and part-time with $17 an hour, and I get $16 an hour for my part-time job. We take home about $4,530 a month. So my husband is looking for a better job that would pay him about $25 to $28 an hour. If he gets this job, we would have to come up with at least $7,000 quick to get a new car or a used car. And
where did $7,000 come from?
So we've been working with a car broker, auto broker, and that's like around the number that we have been looking for. But yeah, if he gets that, then, we can get down to one job and I won't be going crazy with the kids at home all day alone. So my question is it worth it for him to go for that job that costs pays him a little bit more, or should we just continue what we're doing?
So let me get this straight. I want to make sure I'm tracking with you. You're saying that if your husband gets this other job, it's going to require you to get another vehicle. and you want to know, is his pay increase worth that cost?
Yeah. So because he works a job and a half, and if he gets this other job, he could eliminate the other two jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we would actually see each other once in a while.
How would you pay for it? How would you pay for that?
The new car, that's the thing. Like, we don't know how we would come up with, since we just did that big payment on that car, and I took a lot of convincing to get him to do that.
And do you have to pay? I mean, you don't have to pay $7,000.
Having to convince him doesn't enter into this discussion. The only thing that enters into the discussion is what makes sense for your family. He shouldn't need convincing on that. He should just want to do it. You should just want to do it. What's best for your family.
Well, he's very cautious.
Yeah. You don't have $7,000, right?
No.
Right.
You can't buy a $7,000 car then.
How much could you scrape together to make this happen?
I think if he got hired after the hiring process, if he got hired within 2 months, we might be able to get $5,000 scraped together. So
yeah.
Well, but you're starting now. You're starting to put aside now because you know that this is on the horizon. So we wouldn't wait until, don't wait until the cards are on the table. Start putting aside now so that he has it.
Okay, let's just be real clear. Your household income, if I understood you correctly, if he takes this job, does not go up. He just is going to be working less because he's making more at the new job. Your quality of life goes up. So the numbers don't change at your house when he gets the new job. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought I understood. So Jade is exactly right then. You can save up starting right now and buy a $2,000 car or a $4,000 car or a $3,000 car, whatever cash you can scrape together. There's no magic to 7. The only magic to 7 is you don't have it. So so you can't do it.
Right.
Because you're not going to, listen, if you continually figure out a way to rationalize borrowing money, you're going to borrow money the rest of your life and just be normal broke people. You got to stop that. You have to draw a line in the sand. Debt is not an option. Now, what do we do? We want a better life. He wants this better job. I'm with you on both of those things. Got no issue with that. Now, how do we get started over there, or how do we scrape up some money? When do you think he's going to hear on this job?
He's got an interview on Thursday. So,
is it a one-and-done interview, or is it a 6-week interview process?
Well, he's had an interview for this job before, and then he keeps applying to the same job over and over again. Same company, I mean. But
so why is he going to get it this time?
I don't know.
What kind of job? What is it? What is it that he's interviewing for?
Grocery store manager for Aldi.
Is there any other chains that he can be interviewing for the same position? Why has it got to be the same Aldi? Can he look at Publix? Can he look at Kroger? Whatever it is by you, Hy-Vee, whatever the grocery store chains are. Is he just putting all his chips in one bag, or can he, I'm just trying to get a beat on what's really going on.
Right. Yeah, I guess we were just kind of, I think he's putting out a lot of feelers for different jobs, but that's the one that...
that's the one he wants.
Okay, I want to be serious again. I'm not trying to be sarcastic or mean. He's applied for this job multiple times and has not gotten it. Why is it now you're more sure? What evidence do you have?
I don't.
Okay. So let's stop then. You're tired of him working all the time, and so you're trying to wish this into existence and somehow figure out a way to buy a car that you don't need to be buying until this all goes down.
Right.
You're just tired. You've been fighting this baby step 2 stuff, and your tank is starting to get empty. Am I wrong?
Correct. You're right.
I hope your wish comes true. I hope he gets this, and you all get a better quality of life making the same amount of dollars. How much debt do you all have left?
We have a home equity loan for about $10,000, and then he has his student loans, which are on pause, for $39,000. And then our house, we have $61,000.
Yeah, well, so baby step 2 is the home equity loan and the student loan. So you got $49,000 left, and your household income total in a year is what?
Around, before taxes, about 55 to 60.
Yeah, okay.
I have a question for you, and I don't want to dig the hole deeper. Are you guys working towards your long-term play for careers?
I'm kind of just like working part-time jobs. I don't, yeah.
Because it kind of
really
sounds
have
like.
a
Go ahead.
long-time play.
Okay.
But his jobs are like grocery store managers. Like, he doesn't really have a long-time play either.
I want you guys, okay, in the break, let's pick up and let's get you guys paycheck to purpose. Let's do the career assessment, all that stuff, because I feel like
the Ken Coleman materials, you guys need to get the career thing moving.
Yeah, because that's what's going to give
You're
you.
grabbing at little things, and you got this one thing, this one Aldi store, this one managership.
Mm-hmm.
What Jade was telling you earlier, we want to help. We want you to earn more for your sake, and that's going to make this whole thing get better and go faster.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he gets this one, but if he doesn't, we need a better plan. And because you've still got, at your current income, you've still got 2 years to go. At baby step 2 in your debt snowball. It's gonna you're tired, and you're already tired. So I do think you all need to get a car. I think the one car is adding to the family stress, even not counting this job stuff. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we need to do that. And I want him not to have to be coerced into these things. I want him to be leading into these things with you, the two of you holding hands and walking towards the light, right? And doing this together. That's going to lower the stress for both of you as well. Because he's not giving up his life. He's living his life. It's through and with his family. That's what he chose, and that's what he's doing, and because he's a good man. But it's not like your mommy and telling a little boy he can't have candy.
That's right.
That's not what's going on. So this is a man who's leaning in, good for him, and he's working with his wife, and we're fighting for a better future together as two grown-ups, and that's how it should be. And so you got a good guy there. He's a good guy. Yeah, you guys probably do need to budget in a car into your debt snowball, and let's start working on the career stuff too. So, but hang on, we'll have Austin pick up. We'll get you Paycheck to Purpose book for him and for you by Ken Coleman, and the Get Clear assessment to help you figure out what kind of careers to aim at, where there's serious money that can be taken off the table. I'd love to see y'all double your income in the next 5 years.
Yep.
This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 14:23. There is profit in hard work, but mere talk leads to poverty. Stephen King says, talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work.
Ooh.
Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Stephen is up next in Cookeville, Tennessee. Hi, Stephen. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Sure. How can we help?
Well, essentially, all my life I've really been earning below the poverty line. Living in a low-income area, it's kind of goes with the lifestyle, I guess. But with recent years of people not wanting to work and that tailored with, a lot of houses and mortgages going up and everything, I simultaneously see a opportunity to make a lot more money, which I don't really know how to do, as well as having the dread of not being able to afford a home within the next 10 years. So it's kind of like a duality sort of thing. And I'm wondering, what would your advice be for trying to jump on that opportunity to earn as much income as possible for somebody in my situation?
What do you want to do?
Well, I've always been enamored with film and the art of it. I did go to film school about 10 years ago. Didn't get to finish it because of how much I didn't make enough money. I'm currently in an acting class right now, but I've always wanted to be able to have something to fall back on. But really
the thing with the arts is you've got to make money until you make money. Basically, is the way that works.
Right.
Whenever I hear people talk like this, or it's like I'm below the poverty line, I'm kind of caught up into this. I think you've got to drill down, and instead of looking at all those outward reasons why, just look at your specific situation. Why are you not getting up and finding work that's paying more? What is it that's keeping you from that? Is it that you don't know what you want to do? Is it that you don't know what the actual next step is? Like, you need to start asking yourself those questions, because that's what's going to give you the next step forward. So you said you went to school for acting, you tried the acting thing. I mean, I would want to drill down more on that and find out what happened. But in the meantime, what kept you from doing other work?
Well, I'm currently in an acting class. Thankfully it's pretty cheap that I can at least afford that. And I get that done in August. And but it's, from what I can tell, it's because I've done a lot of job hunting, and it seems to be an educational boundary that I've not been able to crack.
What do you do now?
Currently, I'm in security for a entertainment venue. I've got about three years worth of experience in security.
And what are you earning?
After taxes, a little over $30K a year.
And it's full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's not the poverty level. You know that.
Well, yeah,
it's lower. It's lower income, but it's not the poverty level.
Oh, okay.
I mean, poverty level for a single guy in Cookeville would be $15,000.
Well, I commute to Nashville too. So,
do you have any debt?
Yeah.
Why do you commute to Nashville for a $30,000 job?
It's just not. I've not been able to find much in Cookeville.
So move.
In terms of debt, yeah.
That's a 2-hour drive each way.
Yeah, where I live, I kind of have the ability to afford.
Okay, let's stop. My friend Henry Cloud says that what we need to do is lay in front of ourselves when we're setting goals, when we want to move, when we want to level up. We say, okay, here's what I want to be doing, and that's our desired future. And then once we have the desired future figured out, then we have to say, okay, what must be true about me, about my life, about my education, about my location that is not true now in order for me to have my desired future. Now, you ask us about a desired future that makes more money than you make today. We've had an exploratory conversation around that. All right. And so, number one, there's not going to be acting jobs in Cookeville, Tennessee. Done. You have to move if you're going to do that.
You got to at least get to Nashville.
You got to at least be in a metropolitan area, minimum, Nashville, but obviously New York or L.A.
Even Atlanta.
And Nashville's got a lot of film work going on, a lot of stuff happening, but it's not exactly nirvana for actors.
Right.
Either. So it might be for music people, sorta. But anyway, so you got a location issue if you're going to be there. That must be true. You can't live in Cookeville and do your dream. That's one thing. So you have to start saying, okay, what are my barriers? What are my blockers? And I'm going to knock those down. And I think the next thing you've got to do too is what Jade was indicating is you need to find something making $50,000 to $60,000 a year, working 40 to 80 hours a week to start piling up some money so that you can afford to work on entering into the entertainment business.
Which you can do.
Because you have to have the side hustle, the side gig, and it may last a decade until you break into those businesses.
That's right.
Whether it's music business, acting business, or whatever. The joke in Nashville is, how do you get the next country music star's attention? Waiter.
And I know it's possible. Like, I think sometimes people in the arts, they kind of have that, well, I'm broke because I'm in the arts. No, man, like...
You're broke because you ain't working.
Yeah, man. Sam and I went to dinner the other night and the valet was parking the car and I went to tip him and I said, do you have the QR code so I can tip you? He said, yeah. He gives me his card with the QR code on it. He's a guitar player.
Yeah.
And he's a musician, but he's working as a valet at night.
Cars.
And I'm guessing he probably has a day job as well.
In a high-end restaurant, he's making bank.
He was at a high-end restaurant. So don't talk yourself out of the fact that you can't make money until you become a successful actor. That's a lie.
2 blockers I see immediately is location for your long-term dream and willingness to do a whole bunch of side hustle big time fast.
Yeah.
You know why you took the security job at the venue? Because you wanted to be around entertainment, not because it was a good job.
Yeah.
You just want to be around it because you love it. You love the stage. You love watching those people on the stage dreaming you're going to be that guy someday. And you might be. I hope you are. But the security gig is not, obviously he's not making a lot of money, and commuting from Cookeville to do it is just plain mathematically ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just does not work. So, you're working all the time, and there's plenty of work, and it's not education-based at all. There's plenty of work.
Yeah.
From retail to restaurants to Uber to cutting grass to construction. There's construction jobs on Nashville. There's more cranes in Nashville and the skyline right now than there are buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, there is all kinds of work you can do at $20 to $40 an hour in a town like Nashville if you can't find that in Cookeville. Now, Cookeville's not a small town anymore.
Right.
And everybody in Cookeville is not at the poverty line. I can promise you that.
That's true. And
I know several multimillionaires there personally.
I've said it before and I'll say it again when it comes to this stuff. You've got to, until you write it down on paper, step by step, what your steps in this process are going to be.
Yeah.
It's floating around in your head and it's causing chaos and it's causing you to either paralyze you and not do anything at all, or it's just causing you to go in a million directions. You got to get this on paper and write down, all right, step
my
one.
desired future, and I'm Stephen, is to be in the acting world, in the film world. I've got 2 things I immediately see already in a 5-minute conversation.
Yep.
We move and we work side hustles more to eat really, really well while we're pursuing this dream. Then there's probably more blockers that have to do with actually entering into that industry.
You need to get an agent.
I don't know anything. There you go. I don't know anything about that stuff. You
need to get an agent because your agent's going to give you feedback onto what you need to do next to actually be able to land work.
Yeah.
So make sure you're sending your things out to people who will give you
hang
accurate
on,
feedback.
Stephen. We're going to send you Proximity Principle by Ken Coleman and From Paycheck to Purpose by Ken Coleman, which both deal with these issues. You're a good man. I'm honored to talk to you. Thank you for calling. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.